And what's up, guys? It's Adam, aka Marf, from Torso Talk, the only live call-in show that is all torso.
Adam, gosh, I think this is one of the stupidest ideas yet.
Why would you say something like that, Dex? I just don't see you seeing the vision behind Torso Talk.
Adam, I really think we should go back to our old format.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Before you say that, you should honestly try to see the vision of Torso Talk.
You're not going to listen to me, are you?
Torso Talk.
I'm begging you.
All right, all right. We'll be right back after this with your news.
Adam, we can't afford music anymore?
No, we can't. You just gotta keep trying, Dex. You gotta keep trying. All right, welcome to Torso Talk. No, I'm just kidding. Welcome to Marfoogle News, the only live call-in show on YouTube. Well, not really. But it is the only one to do that dumb of an intro. Well, we are here. If you've never been here before, this is a live call-in show. Our number is 224-400-MARF, and we will be covering all of today's news, including some of the news stories you won't hear anywhere else. Or if you do, it's probably in some sort of deep, dark corner of the internet. Now, we actually have Dex here. I want to do a sound check with him. He has a live connection with me from across the states in Marfoogle Studios East, and he can actually take your calls and connect with me, put videos, archives, articles right on the screen for everybody to see while we watch, so we can all share and debate and talk about whatever you guys call in with. Dex, can I do a sound check real quick with you?
Hello, Adam. I am here, and hello, Foogle Fam.
All right, nice to have you, Dex. Now, Dex, our main subject today is Yellowstone, but other than that, we have a lot of things going on with not only the world, the environment, but also the platform in which we try to share this information on. Now, you just did an hour-long special on YouTube and the whole changes that are going to happen. Now, can you explain just, maybe 30 seconds of what you talked about over there?
Yeah, certainly. We've seen a lot of the information coming out from other YouTubers. We've seen the terms of service coming out, being announced for December 10th, and then we've heard about the changes in regards to the COPPA laws and whether or not your videos are targeted towards children or not. What we just had was yesterday, late in the afternoon, the FTC actually put out some guidelines, and I was able to go through those and walk some people through what they meant. So that's what I was doing, and sharing what those guidelines were. They didn't bring a ton of clarity, but they brought a little more clarity for creators.
Now, this platform is kind of infamous for being really vague as far as telling people what exactly to do to not violate some of the terms and conditions. Now, some think that the new terms and conditions that we have now basically been notified of the changes, it's now switching over to the big daddy, the big owner company's terms and uses, that it will be a little bit clearer. But if you look at the old ones to the new ones, one of the main differences is the whole we can get rid of channels if they're not commercially viable. So that has a lot of people freaked out. That's basically being taken as, if your channel's small, if your channel's not making money, if it's not monetized, that you will be taken off the platform. That's not necessarily true, but what I do see them thinking, and this is kind of half confirmed by somebody who worked at YouTube, is that that it's more so if you are kind of what they consider a bad actor, if you are not going towards a path of commercially viable, they will not continue to allow you to use the service. Now, that's not guaranteed. See, the thing is they can't run their business without having new, fresh faces coming on board. So it wouldn't make sense for them to say, you know, everybody that is new and, you know, has been on here for 2 years trying to build their channel gets booted off. It would wreck them. I mean, honestly, it would. But this is very serious because we are coming up on, you know, a very crucial time in all of history. Every 4 years, something happens where we put a certain name into a certain box and it decides our fate of the country. That's coming up, of course, and some think that this is part of a whole big thing. You know, the FTC, some have said that, you know, the FTC is actually, you know, not above... you know, a little bit of that. There's a couple clips here. Now, it's basically saying, this says, this is from ftc.gov. It says, YouTube channel owners, is your content directed to children? I don't even like saying that word anymore because obviously don't want to be anywhere near it. I might even have to change my set. My set has one of my hobbies, which is Legos behind me. I do it with all three of my daughters. They all love Legos, and that might be something I might have to change, because if a bot sees that in the background, is it going to mark me as a children's channel, even though I never do children's activities, you know, nothing. I might make a dumb intro every once in a while, and I might even sing over a beat, but that actually could be considered a children's content thing. So, kind of weird. It says, under COPPA, how do I know if my channel is, quote, directed towards children? Since the FTC and the New York Attorney General announced their September 2019 settlement with YouTube for violations of the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act rule, we've heard that question from channel owners, sometimes called content creators. If you're a channel owner who shares content on user-generated platforms like YT, read on for the FTC staff guidance about the applicability of the COPPA rule and how those covered by the rule can comply with its requirements. So this is a big thing, and I'm not going to get into depth. I'm not going to bore you guys with this. We've got some crazy news just here in a couple minutes. But I will say I'm going to show you two little clips that kind of really shows you what it is. Great edits by Dex. And then he has put a very good video together over on the channel Dex Space J. Dex J on YouTube. So let me play this first part. Let me see here. Just going to thump around. Thump around.
That action is changing YouTube's business model. That YouTube cannot bury its head in the sand. YouTube cannot pretend that it's not aware of the content on its platform and hope to escape liability for COPPA. YouTube is going to be explicitly held liable for complying with COPPA where it has actual knowledge of the content. YouTube is going to be required to seek out that actual knowledge through requiring content creators and channel owners to specifically designate whether they are directed to children. And as the chairman noted, not only can we sue Google and YouTube for compliance with COPPA, but also individual channel owners and content creators. And once this order has been fully implemented, we intend to conduct a sweep.
Creepy, right? Conduct a sweep. Now listen to shoot. Okay, yeah. Listen to this second one. This is like pretty blatant right here.
If the FTC is bringing independent piecemeal actions against content creators for violating COPPA, that may discourage content creators from posting content on YouTube. So the analogy that I think of, imperfect, is the expression about shooting fish in a barrel. And YouTube is the barrel, and the content creators are the fish. And so it's a place where this content is centralized, and essentially it's easy for us to find. If the FTC...
Boom. And I don't have to go any much further than that. They basically say that it's like shooting fish in a barrel. It's incredibly easy to find. They can just type in kids, this, that, and they will find that. Now, that kind of content will not get notifications, which some of us are kind of used to. If you like a channel, you look it out. And then you will not be able to share, and I believe you cannot download it for later. So if you are somebody who has, kids content that you pay for, say, YouTube Premium to be able to download the videos and then play them on a road trip, say you have Elsa and Anya or something like that on your phone, that is something that you will not be able to do any longer. Now, this is all this stuff, right? If you don't understand the underlying difference this is going to make on a gigantic platform, this is going to change how you consume things. After it happens, not a lot of people other than creators are talking about this, and I'm just warning you that everybody's going to be like, wow, I can't watch this show. I can't watch it. I mean, people are going to be offended because some shows are going to be taken off under false pretenses, and it's not necessarily going to be appealable. There's some things that, that the bots might get wrong, and they might take out the wrong channels, or maybe they purposely do. It might, take off the wrong channel, and it rightfully or unrightfully did it, but it takes 7 months for the channel to come back. I just saw that Mr. Tripoli, Sam Tripoli, just got back on. His channel was blank for a few days. It got taken down, and then it got put back up. So I don't know what happened there. I know he has a lot of high up friends. He's been friends with Joe Rogan for years. He knows a lot of the community. He is a Q person, somebody who follows Q as well. He just went on Red Pill 78 to talk about it, and by the end of the show, I was like, whoa, there's his thing back. I don't know what time he got put back on, but I do know that, he's around 70,000 subscribers, and it does give hope for somebody like me at 90, whatever it is, and if it gets taken down, is there a chance I can get back up? But what was required to get back on? That's the thing. So I hope you guys all fight for it. If you really like this show and you guys, come in droves, sometimes over 2,000 people a night, then please, stand up for your favorite channels if they do get wrongfully accused or anything like that. And I want to love YouTube. YouTube is an amazing thing in general. So I just hope that they figure something out by January 1st when all of these sweeps are supposed to come in. Now, this is pretty crazy. Smugglers cut a truck-sized hole to drive 16 through U.S.-Mexico border wall, feds say. It says in November, let's see here, I'm in the wrong spot here. In November, a video from the Brookings Productions visited the U.S.-Mexico border region and captured these aerial images of where President T-Man has proposed to build his border wall. It says 16 people were arrested Wednesday in what federal officials described as, quote, brazen smuggling attempt that involved cutting a section of the border wall in Southern California. A white Dodge utility truck drove across the United States-Mexico border around 3:45 p.m. on Wednesday after human smugglers cut a hole in the, quote, old landing mat border wall near Campo, U.S. Customs and Border Protection officials said in a news release on Thursday. So they essentially literally cut like a cartoony hole right into the wall. Now, Dex, do you know if this was the old wall or the new wall? This is the old wall, right?
Still a pretty thick portion of the wall, I thought. It's not a light wall.
Yeah, it's, none of the walls that are
it's like
up.
the slats.
Now, I would love to know, I wish somebody would put together almost a time lapse and go down the entire wall, the entire border. I know that sounds crazy if you were just to walk along the border, but if you did a time lapse to show all of the areas that don't have fences, the areas that have, chain link, that have this, I think it would be interesting to see that from start to finish. I'm sure there's some spots where there's water, correct? Or is there no, did they do it on purpose, not to cross a lake or anything like that, right?
Yeah, I would think. I mean, I'm trying to look at the picture. I'm trying to find the picture if there's one actually out there for this. But Yeah, but it's near. It was in California, so it's probably dry desert land.
Now I'll go to the official article. We take the time before every show to actually get rid of all of these ads, so you don't have to, end up getting this all this crap. I guess this was
threw
the
an
truck?
image in if you want to. If there's an image in there, if you want to, in the screener, if you want to look at that instead of the ad page.
Wow. So okay, I did get a picture of the thing. Other than that, does it show some guys standing and looking at this straight up hole in the fence?
Yeah, that's it.
Wow. So they just straight up cut a car-sized hole and drove right through. Which shows you, I mean, if you know about the not only the drug smuggling rings, but we're talking about the human smuggling rings, which general people do not believe. I've met people that really do not believe that human smuggling is a big deal, and I'm like, it's the biggest deal ever. I mean, like, there's a ton of human smuggling that goes on underneath our noses, and it's pretty unbelievable. Okay, so with the hole in the border, it just kind of shows you that this is something that, even if we do have walls, it really depends. They're going to try and find a way, no matter what, to get through. Now, I think that was the old wall. I think if we had our new wall, guaranteed they wouldn't be able to at least do it that way. They could try to dig down or whatever. But I think the new wall is supposed to go down so many feet, so it would take a industrial, commercial kind of huge operation to dig a hole underneath or anything like that, and they would get caught by the time they even get halfway done. I don't know. What do you guys think? Give us a call at 224-400-MARF. And real quick, just want to remind you, you can actually go back. Everything that is here, we give you the access to. If you go to marfooglenews.com, you will actually see that we have it organized. So it's very easy to find the show. You look for the thumbnail. If you want to see this thumbnail on this show, you'll see that back in our archives. And then once you get there, you click on it, and you can either watch it live, watch the replay straight from our actual website, which it looks like there's 116 people watching from our website right now. And you can have a second device and actually look at the tweets and the articles that we use. So we back up what we say, and we also give you access to all of this, so you can actually follow along or even go ahead. So with that being said, I will get on to the next story here. It says, police are investigating a mysterious large fireball falling to Earth in Oregon. Now, we have seen so much weird stuff. We had the unicorn rare meteor shower, which is why I missed 2 days ago. I did not do a show. I set up all of my cameras and my camera gear. I did time lapses on both of my phones. And it was kind of a dud. I did see lots of meteors, but it wasn't like what they said. I think part of that was because I couldn't find a dark enough and good enough space away from lights. If you guys caught, great pictures or whatever, kind of like the picture that we have here, which I'm about to show you, please send it in or tweet me at Marfoogle or Instagram at Marfoogle. I'd love to see it. It says, police are investigating a mysterious large fireball falling to Earth in Oregon. Now, when you see the picture of this, they actually thought it was a plane going down over the horizon. So people called the police saying, hey, a plane just went down. It was actually a fireball. And we have seen more and more and more of these. And we're not talking about just the occasional little meteor. We're talking about going into our atmosphere and even hitting and landing. Something is going on, and I think that they're not telling us on purpose to not panic us. And the weirdest thing, too, when you think about it, I thought it was weird. I learned this so late in life. So say you have the Earth spinning around the sun, and Mars spinning around the sun, and whatever other planet. They're not spinning like this. They're all spinning linear. I thought that was the weirdest thing ever. And I'm sure there's some old timers here that don't realize that. So yes, you could go up in space, right? But all of the planets are on the same line. So it would be like setting all the planets on a table. Is that not weird to anybody? If you really think about it. So it's not like the sun is here, right? It's not like the sun is here and Earth goes this way around and Mars goes this way. Kind of like what you think when you see Neptune with its rings, right? Diagonal. Nothing does that. All the planets go around in a circle. I don't know I'm sure there's a scientific explanation for that, that they're all on this plane, essentially, right? Which is just so weird to me. But on top of that, that makes, they say, asteroid tracking and having, for them to be able to track it when it hits us that much easier, because it's lining up and it's basically coming to an intersection. In fact, a gentleman, one of the Apollo 9 astronauts, explained it like this. It's we either need to speed up or slow down asteroids so it doesn't hit Earth. They can actually calculate it just like they can calculate landing somewhere or landing on a moving, boat or on a ship. You have to know the time it's going to hit. If they go in that right intersection, you have to take that asteroid and either slow it down or speed it up so it does not reach that intersection at the same time. There's big ones, and if they say what they say is true, I believe they've already found something that is going to impact, and they're not telling us when. And what they are doing, though, is they're trying to find out, ways to stop it. Now, a lot of people say, well, you can't believe NASA, and I don't. I don't believe NASA, and I don't believe a lot of the things that are being said, but I also know that there is something they are trying to cover up here, in my opinion, and it's just the weirdest things. Some of the things that they don't want to tell us, and some of the things that have leaked out, is that there is something that is coming towards us. There have been weird things lately as far as like the 2020 asteroid, their weird drill, and they put it out to all the smartest people in the world, and they said, well, what would we do in this case? And they said this is not a real scenario. It's an actual document that Asteroid 2020 leads back to, these bumper stickers going around. And there's just all these weird things around this. And I keep saying it, and I've said it for a year and a half. I've never changed my stance on this. I think that there is going to be some sort of extremely large impact, if not something that ends us all, that, could wipe out a city or something like that. And I think they might possibly know. And what they are doing right now is they are trying to figure out ways to deflect it or to put it off. If you disagree, then that is totally acceptable. In fact, that's encouraged. Please call in at 224-400-MARF and let us know all what you think. I'm not the smartest person in the world. I have talked to some high-ranking officials, and they all say the same thing, that it is a very serious worry. I do know from one in particular that they said that all of the military branches are putting a side pot of money away for something space-related. That he doesn't know what is. Again, they have HAMMER, hyper velocity asteroid mitigation emergency response vehicles, which are nukes on top of a rocket. You have Russia doing it. You have China doing it. You have all these other countries trying to get to the moon, then Mars. And they're talking about terraforming Mars. And they all have this like deadline, a weird deadline. So is there something that they know that they're not telling us? It's very odd. So if you have an opinion on this, please share. We're supposed to be a community. We're supposed to talk about these things. And if I'm wrong, show me why I'm wrong and teach us. We're all here to learn, and we're all here to get to the bottom of things. Okay, so I'm going to show you the picture of this. Police are investigating a mysterious large fireball falling to Earth spotted in Salem, Oregon, in the southwest of Polk County. I drove through this. It's a very small or at least Polk County, I believe, is a smaller county. The fiery tail was reported by a local resident around 4:50 p.m. local time on Thursday, according to Lieutenant Dustin Newman, a spokesman for the Polk County Sheriff's Office. It says the incident was reported as a plane crash, but its exact location remains undetermined. According to the PCSO, which posted images of the sightings on the official Facebook, it says they are currently investigating a large fireball falling to Earth in the southwest area of Polk County. The fireball was reported as a plane crash, and they're working to locate a possible landing location and exactly what the fireball is. It says, quote, after the 911 call, we came call came, we were able to get a helicopter in the area as it is pretty remote, and they didn't see anything of concern. There were no reports of downed aircraft either. We really believe it was a meteor, as yesterday there was somewhat of a rare meteor shower in our area as well, Sheriff Mark Garton from the PCSO told Newsweek. Okay, so first off, during that rare meteor shower is when this happened, right? We actually saw one come in, which was one of the only, all the ones that we saw were these tiny little ones, except for one, which I actually met this nice gentleman named Wade. He was parked right across from me. We found a really dark community park. I pulled in, and at first I'm like, this guy's, what is he doing parking back here? And then I saw him with the camera. I'm like, oh, cool. And he was there for the same thing. This humongous one came through, and it faded out. It was just like the two previous ones I've seen in just the last 3 months. So that is the third time I've seen not a shooting star, but something come into our atmosphere and then fade out. So as far as what happened there, I think that, there was multiple that came into our atmosphere and burned up. Now, what I saw just 3 or 4 weeks ago, I had people on Discord with me helping me figure this out. While I was doing it, I even got live footage of not only helicopters following where I saw the meteor land. This is like 3 or 4 weeks ago. And not only did we get footage of the helicopters going over, to information following where the asteroid went, then a huge, huge military plane hooked up with all sorts of stuff on the bottom, which I got film of and posted to Discord. It went over and it was flying in the same direction, and we did the math. It was only going, somebody actually did the airport tracker and said it was going like 90 miles an hour, 80 something. Dex, do you remember this? It was going super slow.
That's the one that Scoot had identified. It was like a big carrier plane. Yeah.
So Scoot, somebody in our Discord, he actually went through, found the actual plane that I videotaped, and then saw that it was going slow. So essentially, this is actually proof right there. Somebody reported the meteor, and helicopters responded. Right. That before this year, I've never really heard that about that a lot. This is the 4th or 5th time that helicopters or military helicopters have been responding to asteroids or meteors. That something's weird about this. And I get that they said if a plane crashed, but they can easily check, boom, 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 is there any planes that, they're transporting, whatever else. They can check that almost instantly. So they actually got a helicopter up there to look for the landing of this. So this thing hit ground. And apparently in a small county. So if you saw it or if you got video of it, let us know. I'm going to show you the pictures of what this looked like. I think we've got a separate. Here's a tweet. No. Okay, here it is. This is from our local Como 4 News. It says a huge fireball lit up the evening skies over northern Oregon Thursday, triggering fears of a possible plane crash. However, officials are now thinking it was just a bright meteor. Look at that. I mean, that is incredible. And look at the angle of it. So, you always see these meteors come in and they're very flat almost. They come in, they don't come in straight down like that. That looks like some sort of crash for sure. What do you guys think it is? Give me a call at 224-400-MARF, and if you have pictures or video, please share them with us. I would love to show them. All right, now it says top U.S. general. It's very possible Ryan will attack again. So this is along with the warnings that we've actually got over the last week of seriously high military officials saying that they believe we are close to some sort of conflict. It says out of Bahrain, since May, the Pentagon has dispatched 14,000 additional U.S. troops, an aircraft carrier, and tens of thousands of pounds of military equipment to the Middle East to respond to what it says are new alarming threats from Ryan. And despite the stepped-up U.S. military posture, the top U.S. general in the region believes that the Ryanian threat continues to rise, and Iran is likely to continue lashing out. Now, if I say some words differently, I'm doing it on purpose because of Mr. Al Gore. Ithem. It says, I think the strike on Saudi Aramco in September is pretty indicative of a nation that is behaving irresponsibly, said General Kenneth McKenzie, the commander of the U.S. Central Command, in a Friday interview referring to a September 14 Ryan-sponsored on Saudi facilities that took half of Riyadh's oil production offline. Quote, my judgment is that very possible they will attack again. Okay, so I hope you guys know what this means, and I've pointed this over the last 2 years. That means it's going to happen. And there's always a tiny article like this or some official that says something, and then it happens. The setup and the smack. Watch. I almost want to put it up on the wall on this date of 11/23/2019 at 9:48 p.m. Quote me. There will be another ATTACK. Because I have seen and I've caught these little tiny things that mainstream doesn't blow up. They don't talk about it. They don't put it all over the front page. It's just something like this that goes out and then boom, it does happen. Why does it happen? Maybe because we knew it was going to happen. Or maybe it's because we made it happen. Or who knows? What do you think? Give us a call at 224-400-MARF. If you want to go and read the rest of this article, you can go to marfooglenews.com. Now, Ryanian officials stealing bodies from morgues to hide true scale of government crackdown. Dex, this is probably one of the weirdest things I've heard this week, especially coming out of there.
Absolutely. It's... there's lots of people that are getting, I guess, there's a lot of unrest in Ryan, and with the revolutionary group there, I won't say the other word, against the protesters. I think the fact that they're trying to make it look like there's not a problem, especially when they're dealing with their own tensions outside of the country. And we've got all sorts of things just always on the brink of firing off with Ryan, to then have their own turmoil inside the country.
I mean, nobody, it's to the point where I know a lot of people that have said or even commented or even emailed me that said, just don't even talk about the middle E. It's not important. What is important is the fact that these are the distractions and these are the things that are going on right now that we need to talk about, that people need to know about. And yet people don't want to hear it. They want to be in the peachy, beautiful unicorn land that is, usually America. I know that we have viewers outside of that. I know we have Canadians and Australians and Europeans and all of these other folks that watch this show. But by the percentages, I know that most of us are here, and a lot of us just don't ever think that this is going to come to our street, right? We don't ever think that we're going to be taken down as number one. We don't ever think that we're going to be invaded. We don't ever think that we are going to have a civil disruption. I think it's very possible for any of these things could happen, if not all of them at the same time. That's very, I mean, you could call that pessimistic, or negative. But the fact is, we are held together by a bunch of fragile politics. And if any one thing kind of breaks the chain, the whole thing falls apart. And trust me, there's been a lot of chain breaking lately, but something puts that chain back together. Somebody mends that chain. If there's, if they take out several things all at the same time, then there's no mending it. It says the 20-year-old law student was one of the first of hundreds shot by the Revolutionary Guard in spontaneous anti-government protests that swept across Ryan last week. So there's been protests all over the place, all over the world, in fact, and we've helped to cover a lot of this. But it says, but instead of lying in a hospital bed or the rack of a morgue, Mr. Nuuki's family believe he was spirited away by intelligence officers removing dead and injured protesters to hide the true scale of the government's brutal crackdown. Quote, he was critical but alive when he arrived at the hospital, said his uncle, Ahmed. And it says, we have heard nothing since, he added tearfully. He had first heard of his nephew's injuries on Instagram, where he was moved by messages of, we're glad you're enjoying the telegram, blah, blah, blah. Okay. I screwed that one up, didn't I? Don't know why it's asking to do all this. What the hell? Okay, so after reading the regular article, I'll just tell you this right now. what is happening is they say that they are removing all of the bodies from any kind of injuries related to the protests. This is how crazy that is. So imagine being the family of somebody who was at the protests who was actually knocked off, and then not even getting your family's body back for the burial or funeral. That's what they're doing because they don't want, people to know how bad it actually is. We just talked about the Chilean police shooting these 20% rubber, 80% lead bullets at people, and they had like 270 eye injuries in just a few months, I think it was. And it's like, that basically says if you, in just that short period of time, if you had 270 people's eyes getting shot, think about how many bullets are actually being shot, right? In this case, they go a step further and they actually literally steal the dead bodies. This is messed up. And I'm sure that the families are pissed off. I mean, most religions have huge things about having the physical body in possession or, traditional rites of burial. So what do you think about this? Give us a call, 224-400-MARF. All right, so this is a huge, huge thing as far as my people, my Foogle family. You guys have been blowing me up lately about Yellowstone. Now, I focus a lot on Cascadia, not so much on Yellowstone, but we have covered all sorts of little dips and weird things that have happened with Yellowstone. This is Yellowstone Supervolcano. Is eruption imminent after 193 earthquakes in a month? It says, according to monitoring services from the USGS, the Yellowstone region in Wyoming has experienced 193 earthquakes in the past 28 days. All of the tremors were relatively small, with the largest registering at a magnitude 3 coming on November 10th. While tremors in the Yellowstone region are not uncommon, almost 200 in 1 month is rare. It says, with the National Park Service stating that the region usually has around 700 per year. So having 228 days when you normally have, essentially that's 1/6. No, I'm sorry. That's almost 1/3 of how many they're supposed to have in an entire year, and they've had that in 28 days. That's a big deal. It says on the upper scale of it can experience up to 3,000 quakes a year, and experts warn it's not necessarily the size of an earthquake, which is an indicator that a volcano might erupt, but the quantity of them. It says Portland State University geology professor Emeritus Scott Burns said, quote, if you get swarms under a working volcano, the working hypothesis is that magma is moving up underneath there. So this is actually that's also why people believe that underneath Ridgestone and California that there's some sort of huge magma volcano, supervolcano that is brewing underneath. Now remember, we've actually not discovered, they think that there are other supervolcanoes that we don't even know about. And this essentially that backs up kind of what people say about California. It says, however, others disagree whether an earthquake swarm near a volcano could be a sign of things to come. And that's why there's so much argument about it. Now, I don't think a lot of people know the sheer scale of Yellowstone. There was one thing that's not included here that was a good picture. Dex, I don't know if you can find it, but there was a kind of a graph that showed the map of the United States and how much of the United States would physically be affected, like the actual size of the volcano underneath the state lines, because it goes under multiple states, and it's huge. I mean, it's going to change the world, and if it goes off, we are talking about the entire world's changed, forever. At least, the land of it, and we've built cities on top of this thing. We've built metropolises, many, many cities. It says, if you get swarms under a working volcano, the working hypothesis is magma is moving up underneath there. Jamie Farrell at the University of Utah in Salt Lake City believes that this is just part of the natural cycle for Yellowstone volcano, saying, quote, earthquake swarms are fairly common in Yellowstone. Quote, there is no indication that this swarm is related to magma moving through the shallow crust. The Yellowstone supervolcano, located in the U.S. state of Wyoming, last erupted on a major scale 640,000 years ago. Now, this essentially, we pulled this up to make sure that you, to show you that, yes, indeed, that it was 193 earthquakes. I did see somebody in the chat say it was like 163 or something, but from 3 different sources, we got 193, which is a big number, right? The one thing that I wanted to pull in, and I know this is not going to be all over the place, is that, you know, military and FEMA have been doing all these weird prep and drills around that area and essentially writing it off. Now, there was something that was leaked through WikiLeaks about 2 months ago, which totally got wiped out. And it was a new map similar to the new Navy map. And here's what scares me. The new Navy map that shows parts of the country that are flooded is still available. You can still Google it. But it looks like every single trace. And if you guys saw the map, please comment in the chat. It was a map of after Yellowstone blows up. And it basically acted like they knew it was going to blow up, and they were working with NASA, doing all these plans with it. But it got wiped out. Like, it got completely and utterly deleted off the internet, including a couple people's channels for even talking about it. So, with knowing somebody from FEMA and military, and we have our group of over 300 military people, they say that this is a bigger worry than what they say. Why are they thinking about all this? Why are all these natural occurring things their main concerns right now at the toppest, most secretive level? There's asteroids, Yellowstone, and Cascadia are the 3 top priority things in the military and in the new Space Force. Space Force, one of the first missions that you guys are going to see go public, and this is something I will soon be able to confirm with actual articles once they start talking about it in public, that they are actually doing things in space. Space Force is working on Yellowstone-related things. I thought that was wild. So, with that being said,
Adam,
you got the picture?
Yeah, I got a picture. I don't know if it's the one you're looking for, but it's really interesting. It's a couple years old from Forbes. It is a molten lake of carbon with Yellowstone at the center, and it shows how far this molten lake has stretched across the United States. Underground, obviously.
Perfect. Let me pull it up. With that being said, what do you guys think is really going on in Yellowstone? They just last year, they actually closed parts of the park because of actual fissures opening up with molten lava. They closed other parts afterwards and made up these weird stories like they saw a bear, so it permanently closed or some. Do you remember that, Dex? It was. I think it was earlier this year or late last year where they closed a part of the park saying that there was like drug dealers or something, and then another one
there was
weird something about a bear.
Yeah, there was a couple of weird excuses for closing off certain areas. Of course, there was also a shutdown too. I remember back when we had the park services were closed too, but they also had some really weird excuses to close certain areas.
I think cartel was one of them. Like there was, and then one of them was that somebody shot a bear. A hunter shot a bear and something, and it was the weirdest freaking excuses. If you knew what I'm talking about, put it in the chat, and it will pop up there. So what? Now explain, Dex. How would we look at this map? What is the red? Is there a graph?
So this was a recent. I say recently. At the time the article was written, they had discovered that the global view of, I guess, the molten carbon lake underneath the ground there. So that's what they were showing in this, and with Yellowstone being at the center of it, it sort of seems like it stretches out from there. I don't know if this is the map you were exactly looking for, but I thought this was rather interesting.
Well, I wonder if this is like where the lava will actually flow and go, because I mean that is kind of where in my head I was looking at it. It's going to knock out these 4 states. These 4 states are going to be completely shook up. And can you imagine the kind of earthquake that will come from this too? I mean, the actual ground shaking from this emptying out its bowels. Like, this is going to be insane. And that's why a lot of people worry about when the Cascadia goes. If you look at the left side of this, Cascadia goes all the way up here from Canada, all the way down to the beginning of this 700-mile stretch of a 9+ earthquake, which this entire section is going to basically shift. So just to kind of give you an idea, the whole West Coast is going to go, I mean, this is going to be absolutely nuts, which some say in this middle part, if the plates are all going to shift 45 feet in one direction, what is going to happen to Yellowstone? Could that actually have some sort of effect on Yellowstone? Yes. The experts have said it. And Chris Goldfinger said it in my interview with him. 20 years ago, they did not think it was possible. Now they 100% know that earthquakes can trigger either other earthquakes or even volcanoes. And Yellowstone is the worst, and it's right next to this 9.0 earthquake that we have never seen since modern times. So this is going to be a big deal. And, you know, anybody living in this area, I would say, especially I would not live here. I would not live here at all. You know, they could say it will happen in a million years. I still wouldn't live there.
Adam, I have one other map you can pull up real quick. It's the ash cover, and this is from the USGS, and it's the prediction, the forecast of the super eruption and how much ash will be placed across every state.
If not every country. Let's see here. Wow, it's so hard. It's almost hard to see the states. Look at this. You can't even see where the United States is. So this is thickness in millimeters, I guess. Is that millimeters, correct?
That's correct, millimeters.
So plus 1,000. Can you? I'm so sorry. I'm not good at the millimeters. What is a conversion? How many millimeters to a? Well, is 1,000 millimeters to a meter? Let's see. So you're talking about this turns into feet at some point. This is how much ash. This is going to cover 5-6 states.
Think about this. 25 millimeters is 1 inch. A little over 25 millimeters is 1 inch. So every 25 is an inch.
Holy gosh, guys. So you're talking about the entire country being covered with I mean, this is essentially the entire 75% of the country will be covered with over an inch of ash. And then you're talking about the East Coast covered with a thin layer of it. And then the entire world possibly going dark for a period of time. And they talk about, you know, here's the one thing, even if it didn't go off, they're talking about with NASA and the Jet Propulsion Laboratory and all this other stuff about drilling holes into the actual Yellowstone caldera, pushing cold water. And this is what kind of trips me out, is that they feel like they need to come up with something right now. They are thinking and coming up with ways. They said that they want to drill. In fact, let's look this up real quick. They want to drill cold water in and actually have it pump through. And they even thought, while they're doing it, while they're trying to save the world with this plan, that they would get power out of it. Yellowstone and bam. This is from the BBC. I believe this might have been one of the ones I saw with a really good graph on here. So let's see here. Wow. What an intricate article, by the way. This isn't the one I saw, but man, I'm going to have to check this out. They put a lot into it. Let me go to images, actually. So let's see. Yes. Okay. So they want to drill down. They want to put cool water in, then have it go through some sort of pump program, and then the steam from that will actually create power. So not only do they want to mess with the sleeping giant, but they want to turn it into a moneymaker. The plan is going to cost all this money, right? But they still think that, yeah, I think this is. Okay, so they are actually talking about pumping water into it and then having it go through some sort of pump and then actually creating power. They say that it could create more power than any nuclear power plant. But then some say if they mess up, they could actually destroy the entire country. Let's see. Why do people type and talk? They always whisper. Plan to save us from Yellowstone. Or maybe just me. I don't know.
That's just you.
Just me? Thanks, Dex. Here it is. Yeah, the $2.7 billion. Oh, this is a good one. This is what I was looking for. Okay, so I'm going to full screen this. Next generation geothermal. But they actually say that this is something that we have to do now. Somebody argued in front of the Senate. They said, no, we have to get down there and do this now. Otherwise, this could risk our entire country going up in flames. Imagine the most powerful country in the world being in debt because we just lost, a third of the country to a volcano, which is kind of weird too. All the Deagle things that say that, 2/3 of us are just going to perish out of nowhere. No explanation. But it shows this kind of plant thing, pumping cool water in, and then the hot water coming out and actually creating power out of it. So they're trying to capitalize on it and even make money off of this thing, which probably taxpayer money would go to save the world, right? I don't know. It's quite a crazy thing. If you have an opinion on it, please give us a call at 2244-00-MARF. This is actually quite crazy. Balls of Steel. Twitter calls bullshit on Musk's, quote, video proof that Cybertruck window stunt worked at rehearsal. Now, do you think this was a whole joke? Do you think this was to get attention for the Cybertruck?
No. This is trying to save face. I would think the guy would just be like, hey, we screwed up. We're going to fix the windows. Don't worry about it. But no, he's like, oh, no. It worked. We did it. And it worked fine in testing. I don't know why it was horrible on stage. Come on.
Well, either the windows are bulletproof or they're not. If they were bulletproof, would it not do that? I mean, that doesn't make sense.
Watch the video. It's hilarious.
Do we have a clip of it?
Oh, yeah. I made an edited version of this. Do you have it?
Let me see. Okay. Yes, I do. Ba-bam. Hold on. Let me... Gonna jumble and jingle. Hold on 1 second, Dex. Oh, no. Sorry about that, guys. I just destroyed about 15 phones.
We created an exoskeleton.
Nice. Now hit the Cybertruck.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. What else can we do with this truck? Let's shoot it. That's a 9mm bullet shot at the door. So it's ultra hard, cold rolled stainless steel alloy that we've developed. We're going to be using the same alloy in the Starship rocket and in the Cybertruck. Let's show the glass demo. So first, this is regular glass. This is like normal glass, car glass. We want to show you what happens with normal car glass.
Let's see, Tesla.
Now I'll show you Tesla armor glass. Yeah. Yeah, so still there. I guess. Franz, could you try to break this glass, please? Yeah. Sure? Yeah. Oh my fucking god. Well, maybe that was a little too hard.
Should we try on the door?
Sorry? Okay. It didn't go through. So that's a plus side.
Let's try the right.
Try that one, really?
He is so pissed.
Sure.
Oh my god,
It didn't go through.
wait. Look at he threw it like a 6-year-old girl, and it's still broken.
Plus side.
Let's try the right.
Try that one, really? Okay. Sure.
Oh man.
It didn't go through.
Oh man.
Sure.
Oh man.
It didn't go through.
I'm sorry, that was just too good. Like that was the first time I saw the video. He might, and Elon Musk, and I'm gonna plug you back in, Dex. I switched you out. The thing is like Elon Musk is that kind of guy. The same thing that happened with the diving thing. Like if anybody like threatens his pride, he just kind of makes a fool out of himself. Are you saying that that's what he's doing right now?
Yeah, he's trying to tell everybody, hey, don't worry, it worked in 15 times on that same vehicle for the show, but when we did it in the show, it decided to break. Everybody's saying BS on it. So funny though is that the guy Franz we had throw the ball at the window. He actually said, "Should I do the second window?" And he actually says no. And he goes, "Well, let me do the back window." And he's like, "Really?" And the poor guy did it. I can't believe it. That was demo gone wrong in front of everybody.
So I didn't hear that. So he actually says no.
Yeah, he was like, "Oh no, at least it didn't break. That's okay." And then you can hear him say, "Well, let's just try the back window." And he's like, "Really?"
Oh my gosh! Hold on.
Don't embarrass me anymore.
Hold on. I just gotta listen to that one part. Let's see. After the first one. This looks like one of those magic shows. Like it looks like the stage of like how the magician did it, right? Can you try to break this glass, please? I love how people are like, he's strong. I wish somebody had the camera on Elon. His eyes probably went to, oh shit. Right there is when he said it. No? I don't know. Let's see. So instantly you can see his body language. He went from so Elon Musk always talks like this, and he's always very good at controlling his space, walking around, talking to people, looking at the whole crowd. People have given him credit for being a good speaker since the beginning, since before he was big. And instantly you can see him crossing his arms, and he's just in there thinking like, oh man, that must have sucked so hard for that guy. I feel bad for him. Not really, but, one of the richest dudes in the world.
Yeah, I will say it did end pretty decently. At the end, they pulled out a electric ATV, all-terrain vehicle. They dropped the tailgate on the back of the truck, which turns into a ramp, and then they roll the ATV up into the bed, plug the ATV into the vehicle, so your electric ATV is now charging off of the car, and you can take off to the, sand dunes and go ride your ATV. It's kind of cool.
What is
there was a lot of cool stuff on this demo.
Just on the side, because this thing is, I just watched Marquise Brownlee. He's like a tech guy with 10 million subscribers, and he says why I ordered the Cybertruck, right? One thing is like, I can't believe he makes enough money to just buy one of these. It's like, people think that us with our small channel make that kind of money. These big guys, it's like, you are buying a Cybertruck? How much are these things? Like $300,000 or something?
No, actually, Adam, this was $37,000 for a single engine, and it's like $70,000 for the triple engine. So that's like the first model at $37,000 is a bare bones. One engine will do 250 miles. tow like 7,500 pounds. I think if you put 2 motors in it, it'll go 350 miles, and it'll pull like 10,000 pounds. And if you put the 3 motors in it, it'll go 500 miles and pull 15,000 pounds and go 0 to 60 in like 1.9 seconds.
Not 1.9, is it? Because I know that somebody said 4.3 seconds.
Yeah, it's probably that, but it's insane for a truck, a big heavy truck on a lifted suspension with a giant unibody frame. Yeah, it's a big deal, and they're pretty tough. I mean, they're really tough. They don't look that good at first, or they have their own. You have to acquire.
Well, here's the thing about trucks. It is one of the few markets that is completely locked down. 89% of truck owners, trucks have not changed in 30 years. They essentially have looked the same for a long time. And those are the only kind of people that they don't change it. So this is a really hard market to get into in the first place. So they just went completely to a different level to try to stick out. Pretty nuts. All right, we are coming up on 1 hour exactly. So I'm going to get through this real quick. Neighbors find dog behind the wheel of a moving car. So when you first watch the video, it looks like there's nobody driving. Whoa. Now I want some crap music ruining it. So this is out of Port St. Lucie in Florida, and the cops are just sitting there. For over an hour, this car went backwards, smashed mailboxes, and smashed. And apparently it was not a person driving the car. It wasn't even a ghost riding whip. It was a dog inside the vehicle. But one thing I don't get, though, is why it's going so slow. Why didn't the cops, at least try to kind of hop in? I don't get that. Somebody could possibly walk with it in a circle.
I'm hoping that it's because the doors are locked and they're waiting on the owner to show up with keys. I mean, otherwise, it's insane. Why wouldn't you stop that car?
Or... they could break the window. The dog could at least jump out. I guess it's how much damage can it do? I wonder what they waited for. If you pull up what do they end up doing? Just wait until it gets stuck or destroy something? I don't know. Yeah, that's pretty weird. All right. All right, you guys. So if you want to help this channel and if you want to protect yourself, NordVPN is offering our viewers a special discount. You can actually get savings up to 84% off of their plans. You need to add the code Marfoogle in. A lot of people have been kind of excited that we were able to partner up with Nord, and this is a big deal because I have protected myself. Basically about 4 months into my channel, I ran into some really scary stuff. If you're a creator or even if you are a watcher, again, Dex, explain what you explained to me, about the whole email thing. A lot of these people open up YouTube links and all sorts of things. It's no bueno.
Absolutely. You can get hit by what they call a man-in-the-middle attack. Any one of us is susceptible to that. If you click a link in your email, you click a link from a text message, you click a link that you're reading in, a chat room somewhere, that could actually be a plant to get you to click on it. And it could take you somewhere that seems safe and is normal and you go about your business, but there was a man in the middle that captured your IP. And then they come in and they try to attack your network. Having a VPN helps prevent that and helps put your IP someplace else so they can't come in and attack your network.
Well,
and the other one is when you're in a Wi-Fi location and not have the bad guy literally sit there and sniff out everything you're doing. It's free. These guys can open up the software on a computer and sniff everything that you're doing on the internet on a public Wi-Fi. You don't want that happening.
So you're sitting in Starbucks or you're sitting in Target or wherever you may be, just even browsing, and your phone might even be, set to automatically hook up to Wi-Fi. I know a lot of people do that. Then somebody else there. If you don't think that there are people that they spend their entire day going to public spots like Starbucks and they log into stuff, and then they get your information, they get your credit cards, they get everything, and then they order stuff. If you've ever had something weird happen, like you see a weird charge on your card, what the new thing is they do small little charges, but they do them over time. And if they have 100 different accounts, 100 different credit cards, you don't change your credit card. You see a $3 kind of inconspicuous charge, and they get you all year long, and you never even report it. That way, they never cancel their card or switch their card. Well, if they do that to 100 accounts, all of a sudden, per day, they're bringing in $300 off of $3 transactions. This is the biggest thing. And now we have a lot of our Marfoogle family members meeting. So this is a good thing, especially if you do go and end up meeting. You know, we want you guys to meet in person, talk prep, but we also want you guys to be safe and to hide, you know, what is good, what is big to you, which is privacy. This helps our channel as well. We're constantly looking for new affiliate marketing stuff that can actually support the channel, but at the same time help the Foogle family do something good for their life or help them in some way. Again, we've turned down multiple companies that have contacted us. We've never accepted a incoming thing from some of these ones that you see all over YouTube, especially all over the Truth Niche. I wouldn't do something that I didn't believe in. I've used Nord, I've used other ones. I used another one, and somebody actually attacked me when I was even smaller. I was like at 12,000 subscribers. So again, this can protect you. It's a huge deal, and you can use up to 6 devices with it. So you can do your phone, your laptop, your tablet, especially if you have kids, browsing the internet, all that kind of stuff. You want to set yourself anywhere else. That's a big deal. So marfooglenews.com/VPN. Of course, keep the bad guys out, all sorts of good stuff. And they are really good about reaching out. And as far as if you need something, you have a problem, they have 24-hour support. All right. And then again, that's marfooglenews.com/VPN. And then an EMP shield to protect your home. Again, we are constantly looking for something, that will actually protect you, save your life, or make your life better. EMP Shield is going to save countless lives when and if we have a EMP or a solar, an actual coronal mass ejection. So I think it's just a matter of time. I know we will have a coronal mass ejection. I know we'll have a CME happen. It's just a matter of when. As far as EMP, there is a huge threat against it, and that's why our president actually signed a bill right after the Homeland Security said that we need to have 6 months of food prepped. That's not a theory, right? That's an actual threat. That's an actual thing that happened. The Homeland Security actually came out and told us straight up, you need to have 6 months to a year of food. If all of our power goes out, they say that 90% of us would perish. Again, if you have the EMP shield, it will protect anything wired to it, including they have different models. Again, they have the vehicle models. They also have the ham radio models. They have the generator models. The vehicle and the generator, I think, are the two most important other than the home model. Again, if your generator runs after 30 EMPs or 20 CMEs, that's a huge deal. That means doesn't matter what else the rest of the grid is doing, you have a generator that works, and you don't have to keep it in an 8-foot Faraday cage. Again, that's at marfooglenews.com/EMP, or you can go there and use the code MARF. All right. And if you have not checked out our other channels, again, Marfoogle News has been frozen for a long time. It's actually starting to creep up. We are trying to team up with multiple other channels, and I'm reaching out to a lot of other channels as well in this area as far as what we talked about at the beginning of this episode with the entire platform going to crap. Let's see here. Something is going on here. We've got some skip frames I can see. Actually, didn't know if I was still online there for a second. Again, I'm just going to keep going. Okay, Dex, are you still there?
Hey, Adam, I'm here, and yes, it looks like you're still online.
Okay, it says chat is disabled for this live stream. So I don't know what the heck is going on. Every single time, I'm just so done with.
It looks like it's still working.
It is, but it's sending a message. So That's just really weird. It's not sending the information to the computer. Here's a cool way to share this too. Marfoogle.news will bring them to the main channel, which we are about to do some huge things on. That main channel, I've actually put more time and effort into this one. I am going to be putting a huge amount of effort into Marfoogle News coming up soon. We're going to have a lot of big surprises. Make sure to go over to marfoogle.news. If you type that into your browser, you will automatically get put right over there. Or if you want to share Marfoogle TV, this channel with the live call-in show, tell people marfoogle.tv. Just Google Marfoogle, any of those kind of things. But the marfoogle.tv, again, bring people over. We are so close to 100,000. Who knows what will happen before we get there. But man, we have less than a month before this whole change happens. Hopefully we can get to 100,000, which means we can apply for verification. So if you guys want to help in any way possible, be awesome and would be super appreciated. Including mods, I've told them if you guys want to share in any way possible, these are the 2 ways to do it. We're going to get the phones open here in just 2 seconds. I did want to remind you guys, Discord, huge thing. So we are teaming up with other creators. We know that things are about to change massively. If you have over 100 subs and 20 plus videos, those are the requirements to be in our Creators Corner. We are going to physically help you, and we are going to build a kind of a union type thing. So again, the first step though is getting everybody together, and so we know once we verify that you have over 100 subs and 20 plus videos. Now, if you have 40 videos and you're under 100 subs, we're going to help you out either way. But that, we're trying to make a requirement so it's just not anybody with 2 videos on there or whatever. You got to put effort into your channel. If you get in there, it's going to be a good thing for everybody. MarfoogleNews.com, sign up for Marfoogle alerts. If anything is to happen, if we find out from one of our military groups that something is about to hit the fan, we're going to let you know through those Marfoogle alerts. We've only sent out about 7 or 8 to this day, so we use it for serious purposes. And letting you know if a schedule change or something like that. If you want to see the Earthing movie, one of our affiliates, honestly, we are bringing in money through affiliates. We don't get, the same kind of thing that normal channels get as far as advertising. Almost instantly, all of our videos end up being demonetized, and then we end up tweaking things, and then they get put into extended. So extended inventory basically means, we might get a T-Man commercial, or we might get one of those sleazy guys selling a get-rich-quick book, but we don't get the good ads, which basically drops our CPM just to, almost nothing. If you want to help support us, we've always been very transparent. The money that we use to earn is to build everything. I've built up my studio over time. That I was at a good point at some point. Dex is now building up his studio. He's starting to get to a point. After that, we want to bring 2 more people on, and we want to have people report. If you want to help us do that, support us by actually supporting a good brand, a good company, one of the ones here. The Earthing movie actually has Amy Smart, Muriel Hemingway, Deepak Chopra. It was just released on red carpet. You get to see it for free before it goes out to anywhere. MarfoogleNews.com/GT. And then if you want to actually support the company behind it and Clint Ober, if you are an earther or a ground therapy type of person, then you already know about him. If you want to get his products through us, go to marfooglenews.com/earthing, and with our code MH, you actually get free shipping. It's good for sleep, digestion, arthritis, anything inflammation related. This is a huge deal, and all you have to do is sleep on it, and it can go right under your sheets. You don't even think about it. You don't even know it's there. Again, that's marfooglenews.com/earthing. And our shirts all go to charity. 100% of our shirts, if you want to spread the word and be like, what the heck's the Marfia? Again, you can go to marfooglenews.com/t-shirts, and 100% of this right now is going towards Cars for Heroes. So it actually helps veterans get into cars that cannot afford them themselves. Again, it's not 10%, 30%, 50%, 100% of the proceeds of our Marfia shirts go towards that cause in particular. We're going to end up changing shirts. So if you want to get these while you still can, make sure to do so as soon as possible, because we're probably going to be dropping at least 2 of these shirts. Okay. And that's about it. Let's get the calls going. Let's get pumped up in the his house. And let's go. And yes, I said his house. I can hear my 13-year-old rolling her eyes somewhere. Okay. Hello, you are live on Marfoogle TV. Is this Sheila?
Yes. Hi, Adam. It's a first-time caller for you.
Hey! So, Sheila, let me pull your card up real quick. It says that you're obviously first-time caller out, and you want to talk about wormwood, and you've got a video here. What's this about?
Well, on the Hagman Report, which is another channel, he interviewed Steve Quayle and Dr. Tom Horn last Thursday night, and they were talking about what's incoming. And Dr. Tom Horn, he wrote a book a couple of years ago called Petros Romanos, where he predicted the Pope would be stepping down in April of 2012, a year before it happened. He had had a dream and a vision. He's an old Assembly of God preacher. So anyway, it ended up happening when he said it did, and he was contacted by all kinds of CNN and all these different channels, and the Vatican was trying to find out how he knew ahead of time who the mole was, but it was a vision that he had. Anyway, he had another vision, and so he wrote another book called Wormwood, which is just coming out now. And in this interview, he talked about scientists. He has a lot of military and people with high-level clearances that have told him that there is a huge asteroid coming in, expected in 2029, and they've even pinpointed that they believe if it doesn't get knocked off course at all, it's going to hit the West Coast in 2029. And that's why they're building all this stuff to get off planet. It's a size, I think he said about the size of 4 football fields. And as they've contemplated hitting it with a nuclear, something nuclear to disintegrate it, they're concerned that the radioactivity will hit, all these fragments will be radioactive, which will make it even more deadly than it will be. But this interview was so interesting, and I thought about you because you've been talking about this subject. And it really, have you ever heard of Tom Horn or Steve Quayle?
No. So, somebody, I get a lot of emails about the Tom Horn situation. Now, here's the thing. Yeah. Exactly what he's saying, I've heard from actual military folks, but when, and I don't know this gentleman. I know Steve Quayle. Steve Quayle I like watching his stuff. He's got a lot of really awesome stuff out there. But as far as like when people add in visions and things like that, a lot of the time they get looked over, or their thoughts or their theories get looked over because they talk about visions or they saw this or that, and it takes away credibility for the normal person. I don't think that's necessarily true, just because I have seen people that have called things in the past. I think that there are things beyond what we can see with our eyes. I don't know about Tom Horn, though. That's the thing. There's a lot of people who try to take advantage of this kind of thing and do that. But I don't know about this gentleman. What he's saying about 2029, I mean, we do have, I believe, Apophis coming in 2029. It would make sense. Yes, what he says makes sense because of how they're acting.
Yes, he mentioned that, Apophis. That was the very word he used. And he does have probably some of the same kind of contacts that you have. But he is very credible. He's written several books. He has a publishing company, and his website and channel is skywatchtv.com.
Well, I would love to get him on the show. I will try to find out if I can reach out to him. I'd love to interview him and ask him about what he's talking about. Like I said before today, I don't think I've seen his name and things, but I've only skimmed over it. So I'd love to interview him. If anybody has a way to get a hold of Tom Horn, please let him know. I'd love to have him on the show.
Yeah, I may be able to. Have you ever heard of Hear the Watchman conferences?
Yes. Yeah. In fact, Go ahead.
Oh, well, I'm really close friends with Jeannie. As a matter of fact, I spoke at the California conference about a month ago, and she and her husband produced the last conference that Tom Horn had, which is already sold out for next year in Branson, and I might be able to get a connection for you.
That would be amazing, Sheila. That would be great. I would love to talk about Apophis 2029 and what he thinks about the whole fact that they say it would brush by then, and in 2036 it's coming. If he really thinks it's going to hit in 2029, just be open-minded right now and think about everything that's going on. Just period. Everything that's going on with all of the different missions that are going on, all of the different space missions with trying to deflect asteroids, the nukes on asteroids, everything with this elite race, Asgardia. All these elites are actually making a government, physically setting it up for the future, a space-based government. And these are not stupid, crazy people. They're not, nerds. These people are elites that are in the know, and they are creating a space-based government. That's weird.
Yeah, it is. If you want to put me back to Dex, I'll give him contact information so I can try to hook that up for you.
Okay, Sheila, I'm gonna put you back there. Thank you so much for calling in. All right.
Oh, thank you. I love your show, and I'm recommending it. I actually encouraged Jeannie Moore, who is one of the founders of Hear the Watchman conferences, to get your name out there. So I'm trying to spread the word for you.
Oh, well, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Especially now, we're so close to 100 on this one, but so thank you. You have a great night, Sheila, and we will be in touch, okay?
Okay, great. Yes.
All right. Bye-bye. Dex, I hope, I don't know if that, I hope I did what I thought was good. If that disconnected, if you have her information, please get her stuff.
I'll get in touch with her. No problem.
Okay. All right. Thank you. I just didn't know if it went back to you or if it went to the holding area. So make sure she's not on hold. All right, you are live on Marfoogle TV. Reed, or AKA RE55. What's going on? Reed, you are live on Marfoogle TV. Sorry about that, Reed. I had your volume down.
All right.
Now everybody can hear you. RE55, I've got a link here. Let's see here. It looks like you have a video to show. It was a UFO or a UAP. Let's check this out.
Yeah, they want to call it the UAP.
Okay, let's pull it up. I'm gonna get to the super chats after this call, Dex. So if we can put a pause in the middle. RE55, you are so close to 1,000. Foogle Fam, RE55 has been a long time watcher. We're gonna check out his video here in a second. But so can you explain what this is all about?
Well,
Love Mob.
Capturing an object. I was capturing a mob. Not mob. I was capturing a meteor coming in, and of course I have it on fully zoomed, and I have an object come into frame, and I'm like, what the heck? It's like, it looks like an airplane laying down a trail, but it's not. It's too far up there.
Now, which video? Now, which video should we be on?
UAP. It's the first letters.
Okay, I found it. So this is RE55. I have, out of all my viewers and Foogle family members, he is always looking up. He is watching the sky. He is a watchman of the sky, you could say. He literally has hundreds of videos on his cameras. I mean, like, this guy always has it. So let me put this through.
That's copyright music.
Let me see here. Let me.
That's just.
Now, what are we looking at here? This is something coming down in the sky?
Right. It's going through our atmosphere. I don't know whether it's actually coming down, but it might be skimming across our atmosphere. It looks like it's coming down, but if it came down, we would have known about it. It actually looks like it's coming down, but it's going away.
What was that?
towards the sun. Yeah,
Something just crossed through it.
I know.
What the hell was that? Dude.
It is the weirdest thing. It's the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
What in the
And then
world?
another object.
What in the
40
world?
times zoomed out. I know. Is this
Okay.
thing going up there to test this thing out? Look at it. Bam.
Holy crap. I'm serious. I was not expecting that. That is actually crazy.
Oh, I know.
Okay, hold on. Folks,
know.
I don't know if you guys are
And
seeing the same
there
thing.
went another-
Look at this. Watch this.
I've got it in slow-mo after this, or before that. At the very end, it's really enlarged in slow-mo. Frame by frame, I put it on.
So if you guys don't know too, he has a I want to say you have a Nikon, or do you have you have one of those high zoom. Yeah, the Nikon.
Right, it's a Nikon B500.
Yep, super zoom camera. It's basically meant for these super zoom shots. Now, when you see this black object come through, you can see it cutting through the trail, like it was a game to it or something. Look at that.
I know. I've played this thing over and over. I just can't believe what I'm seeing. And then another object flies through the frame too, and I blew that up, and it's a huge, I don't know, it looks like a huge saucer.
Okay, well I thought maybe that was a bug, but this cutting through is it looks the same, and look, it's physically cutting through the trail of whatever else was landing. I mean, this is actually wild. This is a really good find.
You had a show here a few days ago, didn't you, about something about meteor harvesting, or they're going to be trying to do? That almost looks like something.
Holy moly!
It could be a meteor coming in.
Look at that.
Maybe they're already doing it.
That is absolutely wild.
Using. Wow.
Ari, Reed, this is really good. You can see the black. I mean, like it physically cuts through.
When I first saw it, it looked just like it can't go through it, I think. And I keep playing it over and over, and frame by frame. I don't know, man. It's weird.
Yeah, no,
You're like I was when I first saw it.
Well, it's pretty interesting. Reed, very good catch. I know we gotta get you're gonna be after a video like this. I'm sure a lot of people are gonna want to check out your channel. Look at the videos on RE55's channel. So if you look at the videos that are playing here, look at how much effort he's putting into putting the videos. I hope you join our content creator corner. Look at this. He's constantly looking up at the skies. Has all these crazy videos. I mean, really, he's literally one of those guys. Like, you know how what's his face? Seven Spalding gets every sunset and every sunrise, right? You get all the skies.
He's a good one, right? I'm always in Spalding's chat there too. Of course, he makes everybody a mod, so I'm a mod there.
Yeah, he's a very nice guy. I like him a lot. We helped him get to his first 1,000. Yeah, so I hope you get there too, and I'm sure you will. Maybe before the end of the call, hopefully. But keep making your videos. I appreciate you calling in. You're at 978, so you're almost there.
Wow.
I really hope you get to that 1,000 and then do some live streams and get you the hours if you don't already have them. So, folks,
I'm getting close.
We help as many as we can, especially get to that first little mark. And I hope that people don't forget, that we help people. But I know you are such a grateful person in general and just an awesome guy, and you're always looking up at the sky. So, Ari Reed.
You're one of the best. You're one of the best, man.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that. Well, you have a great night, Ari55, and we will check you at the end of the show, too. Yep, you did it. You just hit 1,000. We need, some sort of sound effect.
Thank you. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Foogle Fam.
Celebration. Okay. That was your celebration sound. Hey, congratulations on hitting 1,000 subscribers. RE55, you deserve it, man. You're always posting up stuff. You have a great night, okay? And much love to you and your family. All right? Say hi to your wife.
All right,
okay?
Thank you, man.
All right, bye-bye.
I will.
All right, I got to get some of these out of the way. Robert Stover, thank you so much for helping. Mature Adventure, thank you. You can always do a message with that, by the way, Robert. Mature Adventure, welcome to the fam. Any new subscribers during the live show, as always, if you subscribe during the show, you will get a shout-out. Again, Mature Adventure. I wonder what you do in your off time. Taylor V, third channel, I've been able to give a free super chat to. Spreading the money around. Thanks, Adam, Dex, and Mods. Well, thank you, Taylor V, for picking me out of 4 channels. MRI The Swamp has subscribed. Thank you so much for joining the family. And my nose just hit the mic. That was weird. Prepper Ilea, I was trying to find a good volcano joke, but none of them flowed well. Oh, well, I lava you and the Foogle Fam. I'm sorry. That's like Prepper Ilea always comes out with the dad jokes, but she's a mom, so dad joke, or I'm going to move on. Central Florida Prepper, much respect to you and Adam, Mods, and the Marfoogle family. Adam, I appreciate your coverage on the news. I miss some stories, and your show helps me my preparedness plans. Thank you, CFP. As always, man, you don't have to do that. Thank you so much. I appreciate you and your wife and your family. Thank you. Mosquitoes and butterflies, type of life. Hi from New York City. Thank you for this show. Well, thank you and you're welcome. WD, free super chat for Marf. Of course, talking about the YouTube super chats they gave to premium people. Thank you. Colleen Luce Wilson, Q Rally in Tampa, 1/11/2020, downtown at MacDill Park. 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. for those who can/want to make it. Again, that's the Q Rally in Tampa, 1/11/2020, the January 11th. Blue Granite Green, hello. Yellow is the stone. Awesome. Oh, yellow is the stone. I just got it. Susan Donahue, get prepped up, get prayed up, put on the full armor of God. And by the way, Susan, I noticed that I missed you the other day, I think. I missed one of yours, and I apologize. This platform has not been showing me stuff. Not this one, but OBS. Chris G, God bless. Thank you, Chris G, and God bless you as well. Kim Edwards, and I'm proud to say that too. Kim Edwards, thank you all for all your hard work. Appreciate that. Thank you, Kim Edwards. I don't think I've met you yet. Nathasia and Ryan and Jerome. What about Europa? That's a good question. I think that you meant Europe, though. Considering you donated pounds, I believe. That's a good question. We are trying to cover more stuff. We're trying to bring an extra person or two on to cover world news as well. Jennifer Jackson, hey Adam, I sent you an email. It's a little confusing, but I need help deciphering my dreams and deja vu moments I have had throughout my life. My dreams from the last few years have been becoming creepily coincidental. Jennifer Jackson, I would suggest to you that you seriously watch Jacob Israel. He knows dreams better than anyone I ever have met. He scared me a couple times. He like knew I dreamed about something. It was unbelievable. That guy has some sort of connection to God. I really believe that. Greg Robertson, thanks Maf, Dex, and MFN team. Thank you. Appreciate for you shouting out the team too. Greg Robertson. John D, thank you for subscribing. As always, welcome to the fam. Bob Tom, chaos worldwide is the game. So when the UFO lands here, they will promise us peace. Jamie Martini Franklin, thank you so much. Hey fam, Southwest Washington here. Rock on the Washington. Awesome. Come to our local meeting. We're doing it soon. Brian cannot tell. Shalom blessings, everyone. Great job, gents. We appreciate your work. Thank you. And wow, the same people too. That's so weird. I was having deja vu. Give our kids a fighting chance. A fighting chance. Did $5 super chat, and then Occam's razor. What in the heck the doodle dandy do? $100 super chat from Occam's razor. Thank you, Adam, Dex, and Mods. Occam, thank you. Seriously, thank all of you guys for supporting. Totally unnecessary, but super appreciated. Trucker Matt, thanks for all you do, Dex and Foogle fans. Conquest, Marf and Mods, lost my office space. New vids soon. I'm sorry, that's not fun, losing your office space. Conquest, make sure to check him out. All one word, Conquest with a big Q. 002W Patrick, thank you for subscribing. Welcome to the fam. Justin Maynard, love you, dude. I should say, love you, dude. Bob Tom, thanks for keeping the border topic of concern. Of course, I think it is, and it's never going to go away until we have one. Anthony Zamora, thank you for subscribing. Harley Moore, keep up the hard work, brothers. Thank you so much. Winging it with Irish Colleen. Cheers to the only, the best live call-in show. Hashtag happy place. Susie Q72, so many earthquakes. Thanks, Adam. And then a few new subscribers. Truth Alert, thank you and welcome. Lance Muir, thank you for the $5 super chat. Kendi Knutson, peace, love, and Marf. I love it. Tanya Roman, thanks for all you do. Adam, Dex, and Foogle family. Bonnie Blake, I love it here in Marfoogle land. Sarah B33, thank you. Lisa Crane, Mike Sell, hello, Foogle fam. Okay, we're all done with that. New people, mods, if you see these guys, give them a warm welcome. The Red Pill Owl, Tim Harney, D. D'Amico, Ryan White, Eric Gatson, Mikulak, Zim Rivas, Amanda Thompson, Michael Heaton, almost like Michael Keaton with an H, Me Oh My, and Mark Richard Killian, thank you for joining Patreon. Looks like during the show. Little Lesnar, Jeff Germata, and Lisa Keel, thank you for joining Patreon. Welcome Sherry Escobedo, Michael Gordon, Gina Renee, Brian Wilson, and Susan T. Dog. Susan T. Dog, I like it. Michael Cook, I think I missed that one yesterday. Idaho and Ohana, thank you guys. Okay. Jay Crystal sending donates to help this channel. Thank you. And Jennifer Jackson, I do watch him need a team collaboration. Jennifer Jackson, I'm going to have Jacob on very soon. David Thorson, thank you so much. Jay Crystal, thank you for subscribing and basically subscribed and donated. That's awesome. Central Florida Prepper, again, thank you so much. Says, brother, I know I don't have to, but I believe in support. And let's face it, you're awesome. Oh, thank you. Wide Awake and Baked. Denver Skywatcher, appreciate all you do. God bless. Boom. Okay, we're done. That was all you had to put up with. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. Thank you guys. Like, seriously, it is actually important. We don't ask, and God has provided for our channel. God has provided for this whole thing. I really do believe that. So I appreciate each and every one of you. We probably have a rough future in the next month coming up, so it's going to be pretty freaking bad. Same with a lot of other channels. Support your other channels too. If you say want to donate $5 and you have 3 favorite channels, split it up between the 3 channels. So give $1, $2, and $2 or whatever it is. Support all your local channels if you can. Okay. All right, let's get this rocking. Dex, you can send another call through, and then Dex might have you talk here for a second. Whoops. That is not what. Dex, are you there? I think I unplugged you. Bam.
Hey, Adam, I am here, and I just sent Doug to you. Sorry.
Okay, Doug, you are live on Marfoogle TV.
Hey there.
Hi. So let me pull up your card real quick. I apologize. It says that, Doug, you are a first-time caller calling from Ecuador. Video link of a 7.8 near Ecuador, and you actually have a link here. So can you explain this?
Yeah, actually, I'm actually from Oregon. I experienced the spring break quake back in '94, an Oregon resident, and that was scary. That was a scary thing. We were about probably 15 miles away from the Scotts Mills epicenter, and that's the first one I ever experienced. I have not experienced anything ever since until we moved to Ecuador about 5 years ago. And I did not know that this was such a geologically active area, although we're in Cuenca, which is a pretty safe area in terms of stability. However, what we have experienced is large distant earthquakes. And what I'd like to kind of bring to attention is that what I've learned is, hey, if you are far away, I mean, I'm talking about the 7.8 I experienced was in 2016. Never shared this video before. I see you kind of have it up there on your screen. We've shared it with our Facebook friends, but that was a closed group. That was a pretty devastating quake for Ecuador. And the experience we had was I was 204 miles away. I'm a video editor, and I was sitting here editing one evening about 7 o'clock, and my screens started shaking, my desk started shaking. That went on for about 30 seconds. And I finally thought, hey, I'm going to pick up my iPhone and start shooting this. And it just didn't stop. It just kept going. So I believe it was about 90 whole seconds of shaking from 205 miles away, which ironically is about the same distance that I lived from Seattle at the time I lived in Oregon. So to me, that was just an unimaginable, crazy experience. And it made me realize I really kind of want to get the word out there. Hey, if you think you're far away from an epicenter or a seismically active place, the story is this, that you will experience it if it's a high number. And that's kind of why I contacted you.
So apparently you are actually sharing with us, which is amazing, a video that you've never shared before, and this is your experience in the Ecuador 7.8 earthquake.
Yeah, this is your exclusive, Mark.
Okay, so I'm gonna plug this in real quick, and I'm gonna play this. Let's see here.
Turn it up, because you know what? You can't see a whole lot. We were actually in a pretty safe place. There was a lot of shaking. It was very scary, but it's the sound that will get you. And you'll be able to see my screen shaking in the beginning. And the general experience was very uneasy.
Okay.
And, I can't imagine being at the
I'm going to play it right now. Thank you so much for sending this. Okay, one sec.
Girls, get away from the windows.
So scary when you have kids involved. Oh my god.
Doug, grab the ladder. Hurry before grab it! Before it falls.
Okay, girls.
Stay there holding on to me, it's okay. It's okay, Nana.
How's she doing? How's your mom doing?
She's a little freaked out.
I think my tummy got an earthquake.
It's okay. It's okay.
Ugh.
It's any molding or anything like that.
I would hold on to the couch.
I can still see the buildings over there shaking a little bit.
I see that.
That was a long one.
That was nice and long.
And usually
The wires, because I could see the wires moving. And why are all...
Everybody, there's a lot of people outside.
well, there's a bunch of people that. What building did they come out of, Doug?
This building.
What broke, Mom?
Such a beautiful place too.
Yeah, we had some things fall here.
I'm gonna go back to this sound. I'm gonna pull you back in. Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes, yes.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm gonna pause this. I'm gonna go back to that sound here in a second. That was so long, and I don't think people realize, like, that's a 7.8. A 9.0, when that happens, it's gonna be a 5-minute plus. How long would you say that was? I think that was actually, we could probably time it, but I don't know. Did you get it from the beginning?
No. It shook for a good 30 seconds before I ever picked up. It was a gentle shake, but it was definitely quite an experience. It was like, okay, something is coming here. And so my iPhone was right on my desk. I picked it up, swiped it to the camera, and just started shooting from that point. And that's where you pick up. It's 30 seconds in. So that was about 90 seconds of full shaking. And it didn't kick in until 15 seconds after I started rolling. But hey, I mean, it goes further. We can talk about this quake, and then we can talk about the next quake, which is a completely different experience, but not shot. But this gives you an idea. Now
is that inside? You're kind of in one of those condominium kind of buildings, right? It looks like you're kind of high up.
Yeah.
And
I'm on the top floor of a 5-story condominium. Yeah.
Well, it's a beautiful place. God, the round windows. Oh, it's gorgeous. And so when you moved here, you didn't kind of realize that and by the way, I've seen a lot of earthquakes out of Ecuador and Chile, just nuts.
Yeah.
And you've sat through all of those, right?
Yeah. As a matter of fact, and you know what? I'm the biggest worrier of earthquakes there could probably ever be, but I'm living through them now. This is like routine, but we get bumps all the time. Now this was a big one, and
you were relatively calm. You were calm for this,
well, yeah,
or at least it seems that way.
I can tell you, I hate them. I don't like them, and I feel like after experiencing so many of them, you feel like a fish in a blender. It's like, when is the next one going to come? And it will. I mean, I know we're going to experience more now that we've been down here. But again, the first one that I experienced was in Oregon, the spring break quake back in '94. I was in Oregon. I was born and raised in Oregon, lived there for my first 50 years. Now I'm 55. I've been here in Ecuador for 5 years. So we've experienced a lot of earthquakes. In fact, more than I can't tell you how many, large and small, little bumps, medium, that kind of thing. But it's the kind of thing that's like, hey, wait a minute though. I didn't even know about Cascadia until I moved here. I would rather be here and in Oregon at this point. Knowing what the USGS came out with, I've really kept track. So, yeah, anyway, there's also the 8.0 that was experienced just a few months ago. That was 2 full minutes of shaking, but that was over 300 miles away in Peru.
Wow, that's incredible. And again, this is him sitting through an earthquake, and this is how it affected him. 205 miles away from the epicenter. That is big.
Yep. If you live in Salem, Oregon, you are 205 miles away from Seattle. Seattle had that size quake. This is exactly. I mean, I don't know. There could be different barriers, different geological, effects. But I would imagine this is what you would expect in Salem, Oregon, from 205 miles away. If they were to have a 7.8 in, say, the Puget Sound area.
Now I'm going to play the sound.
Kind of
I'm going to play the sound again, and then I would love to. So, are you in Ecuador? Or are you currently living there, and you're there for good, right?
Oh yeah, I'm a permanent resident in North Ecuador right now. I'm a video editor. We actually run a YouTube channel as well.
I would love to connect with you because you are somewhere where we don't have eyes and ears. So I mean, I'm sure it's pretty crazy there right now.
That kind of thing. That's not the only reason. We came down here for a lot of reasons. I moved my whole family. I tell people I moved my every last paper clip down here. We had a shipping unit, and we're happy. It's a good life. It's a good life down here. But
well, I'm sure money goes a bit further there, right? Or is it the same, or is it worse?
Oh no, absolutely. I will tell you that in every aspect of life, money goes very far here. I'm still working for advertising agencies. I'm a video editor, and what I can tell you is that if you love electronics, this is not the place to live because there's heavy tariffs. But which is not good for me because I'm a video guy, right? But
yeah, the laptops are $3,000 and things like that.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, let me play the sound of this again. I would love to connect with you. I will reach out to you separately. Doug, thank you so much for calling in. And if I hope you don't have another one of these, but if you do, send me the footage. I would love to get it out there before anybody else. I hope that never happens, though, because you've got your little ones there. I couldn't imagine having my little girls and saying, hey, get away from the glass. Like this, I'm gonna play it again. Doug, it was nice talking to you.
Great.
I want to reach out to you, okay? Seriously. Love to do some sort of collab or something.
What I can tell you is that I'm still here. I'm still comfortable. If these things happen all the time, and if I felt there was a real threat, I'd be out of here in an instant. Honestly, it is not fun. It's the kind of thing where you think, okay, is this it? I mean, honestly, is this the moment we're gonna go? I mean, that's the feeling you get. The video that you're playing, it's the sound really that conveys that. So you got to just crank it up and just take a listen to all of the.
I actually had to crank it down. It was totally. I mean, it was at the higher end, and then it really started shaking, and it was peaking so hard I was worried about blowing phones out. I'm gonna play it right now again. Yes, if you have any other stuff, yeah. Either way, I would love to talk with you off air, possibly tomorrow. I'm gonna play this. And then I'm going to get to the next caller, but I thank you so much for calling in and bringing this to our attention. All right. You have a great night, Doug. Much love to you and yours, and be safe, okay?
Thank you.
All right.
All right. Enjoy your show. Thanks.
Girls, get away from the windows.
Doug, grab the ladder. Hurry before grab it before it falls.
Okay, girls.
Stay there holding on to me. It's okay. It's okay, Nana.
How's she doing? How's your mom doing?
She's a little freaked out.
I think my tummy got an earthquake.
It's okay.
Too.
It's okay.
Ugh.
It's any molding or anything like that.
I would hold on to the couch.
I can still see the buildings over there shaking a little bit.
I see that.
Wow, incredible. Great footage from Doug. That was amazing. Seriously. Yeah. Let's see here. Yeah, no, Doug, I'd love to talk to you. There's nobody in Ecuador. I mean, like, God, if we had somebody who's actually kind of in the business in Ecuador, that would be amazing to have you. At least to be able to let us know if something happens near you. Okay, up next, we have, looks like Ronnie. Ronnie, or? You are live on Marfoogle TV. Is this Ronnie?
Donnie.
Ah, sorry, my eyes are going. Well, Donnie, it looks like you were calling near Fort Benning chemical exercise in Columbus, Georgia. What the heck's going on with that?
Yeah, so I couldn't find the link when I was talking to Dex. I found it in the meantime. You can type in Columbus Emergency Management Chemical Exercise, Columbus, Georgia.
I will do. Let's look this up. So you're saying that they were doing, and this I've been talking about for a year. You obviously, did you think to call about this because you've seen me talk about this?
No. So I deep dove for some reason. I stumbled across it. I live in Columbus, which is like 10 or 15 minutes from Fort Benning, just down the road.
Now, what should I search again? What was the keywords?
Columbus Emergency Management, and then chemical exercise, Columbus, Georgia.
Columbus Emergency Management. Sorry, I was doing it again.
Yeah, please. Columbus Emergency Management, training exercise, something like that.
Okay, and then does it say training exercise Franklin County? I'm sorry?
No, Muskogee County. It should be Georgia. April 2019.
I just saw something in
Columbus Emergency Management hazardous material exercise. Maybe that was it. Hazardous materials.
There it is. I think I found it here. Columbus Emergency Management holding hazardous material exercise.
Yeah. So it was like, I didn't hear anything about it. I've lived here for 15 years. Like, I got my ear to the ground in Columbus.
Oh, look at who it's by.
So it was.
No way. Are you kidding me?
What did it say?
Hold on. It's, oh my gosh. Did it really just go off? Okay, I'm going to click out of this. There's a stupid video that's playing, right? This is WTVM, and the name on it is Alex Jones. No joke.
News leader.
But it's not him, right? It's by Alex Jones, but it's a different AJ, right? Bet you it's a clickable name.
Maybe it's our Alex Jones. Do we have a...
Yeah, digital contact.
I don't know.
Oh, he is screwed as far as the name goes. He's the news leader at Channel 9. With a name like that, you're kind of jaded. You almost want to change it for... Yeah, this is
anyway.
Creepy. So I've told people many times they are doing this all over the country. This was the tweet by Columbus George. It says exercise will be at CSU Frank Brown School of Nursing building at the corner of Broadway at 12th Street. Doesn't say much about it though. Now,
so that's downtown, corner of Broadway, and Columbus State has a building downtown on the corner. And so they were like, if you see any smoke downtown, don't freak out. They're just doing this hazardous material exercise. Okay, it goes in one ear and out the other. But in my mind, it's like, you know, bio, you know, all that stuff. And it's like, I live 10 minutes from Fort Benning. I see the flares that they shoot up at night to do nighttime training. See, I hear, you know, semi-automatic, you know, all the time because they're training.
Yeah.
But one thing that I've noticed in the past year is the increase in military flyovers that we have. We don't typically get those because their airfield is actually about 30, 45 minutes away in Fort Mitchell, Alabama. They kind of connect to each other. So we don't get a whole lot of flyovers, but I've seen like 3 Black Hawks in the last 2 months. I see Chinooks every now and then. I see maybe like 6 months ago, I saw 4 fully armored Apaches, just like the ones that you saw banking around. That's a crazy video, by the way. But they were like in a landing pattern where they were stacked, all 4 of them on top of each other. I can't find the video. I have like 8,000 pictures of my kids, but they were fully armored, just laid down, dude. And then like they landed on the runway, and they would touch down, and they would take back off. You know.
So touch and goes.
130s land every now and again because the soldiers get shipped from Fort Benning to our municipal airport to ship to Atlanta so they can go home and stuff. So that's not uncommon. But the military, like Black Hawks, all that stuff, that's uncommon. And I've been seeing an uptick. Not only that, I see single engine, like high altitude supersonic jets constantly chemtrailing over us. Our skies are disgusting down here. Can't see anything. By the time the afternoon hits, like the top half of the sky is completely covered in like a milky hazy mist, almost like a net.
Oh no, I think we all know by now. It's everywhere in every part of the country, and now even normal people are waking up to the grids that are being placed upon us. Well, we did hit time, but Donnie, great catch. I don't think I even covered that. I covered other ones like at the bank at the in Denver. I covered the one in New York, the one in LA, the one in Florida, the one in Texas. I did not cover. I never knew about that Columbus one. These were all in a 5-month period, and they're still going.
City in Georgia.
I'm sorry?
We're the second largest city in Georgia.
Yeah.
Low key, I guess. We're the second largest city in Georgia, but
I have family in Columbus. It's a big city.
Do?
Yeah, I have Columbus, Cleveland, and then Sioux City. You know, I've got all around those 2 states. Sioux Falls, I've got a bunch of family down where you are. So I've been in Ohio a bunch of times.
That's crazy, man.
So I know all about it. I mean, it's a pretty big place, but I'm surprised it's that low key.
If I hear anything like being this close to the fort, like I'll call in. I'll let you guys know.
That would be great. We need that.
I appreciate you guys. If there's anybody down here, no,
you're cutting in and out.
I'm all for it.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you,
man.
Donnie. You have a great night. Okay. Be safe.
Talk to you. All right, man.
That was Donnie from Ohio. That was I don't think we did catch that one, surprisingly enough.
Columbus, Georgia.
Columbus, Georgia. Oh, I'm sorry. So wait, I guess that just made me sound really dumb then. I thought he was talking about Columbus.
No, it's Columbus, Georgia. It's south of Atlanta.
Okay.
Towards Alabama.
By Fort Benning, of course. Okay, we've got our next caller on, Levin Pagan 11. What's going on, Levin?
Hey, how's it going, Adam?
Good. So let's see here. You wanted to talk about geothermal in Yellowstone. Talk about the geos and Cali link. I've got a link here. So what's going on?
Yeah, you were talking about they were wanting to do geothermal into into the supervolcano Yellowstone to like supposedly maybe slow it down. to like maybe cool it, and they're calling it geothermal, and then maybe on a side note we can get some energy out of this. They know exactly what they're doing. They're doing that here in California. That's all they do here in California.
So they're essentially doing. They know that they're going to be pumping this in and out, and so do you think that they're already doing it?
Yeah, well, here in California, I was telling Dex, getting the card ready for you, that down here in California, down south, we have Coastal Volcanic Field.
Okay, which I have pulled up.
Yes, okay. Well, the Devil's Kitchen, it's so nicely named, isn't it? The Devil's Kitchen is right there. That is a geothermal pumping operation. And we don't use water here in California. We use human sewage. And we pump it into the volcano, and we burn it off and get the steam and get our good old dirty electricity.
Wow. So essentially, you're saying that they're doing this in California. So do you believe that they are doing this with some sort of magma, and there is some sort of volcano underneath? And we're not talking about the normal ones that are there, but we're talking about massive super volcano underneath it.
Yes. It's huge. They're huge. They know exactly what they're doing, and I know they cannot. All the stuff they throw at us and expect us to believe. Like, I don't know what the laws are there in, was it Idaho? Is where Yellowstone's at? My geograph is off up there, but down here the laws. I mean, we're such a hey, we'll let, people go to the bathrooms on the streets in San Francisco and stuff like that. So, I mean, we don't have a problem, obviously, drilling into a volcano and shoving some sewage into it to get energy either. So, like, I don't know what the laws are over there. So I don't know if they're just, like, trying to push this and act like this is a brand new thing. But this is not brand new. They've been doing this for a long time.
Well, it was.
So I don't know if people over there aren't aware of it, or.
Well, it's a good observation for you to make. As far as over there, though, I mean, the thing that they're making is they say that it's going to cost. Dex, I don't know if you can look it up, how much their plan is supposed to cost, but it was in the billions of dollars. I mean, it was like really a lot of money. So, I mean, they're talking about a major thing, and some people are actually very scared of what it could well mean because of the implications of what they are trying to do. This thing is a super volcano and a known super caldera. So, I mean, this thing, if you poke into it, you could screw up a bunch of stuff. If you even shake around it, you could screw up stuff. So it's kind of scary.
Yeah, that's like poking a hole in a water balloon and expecting the water to stay inside.
Yep. Well, that's one way to put it. Actually, great analogy.
I mean,
it's
honestly,
like God taking Earth and shotgunning us, right? Just poking a knife and going, yeah. It's
right.
Like shotgunning a beer, only a volcano.
Yeah.
A beer cano.
Right, yeah. A beer cano, there you go. That's that. I'm going to have to use that phrase around here from now on. We'll use that on Friday nights.
Yeah, a Yellowstone. Yeah, anyways. Sorry, my dad jokes are running out.
That's okay.
3.5 billion.
Leah's little joke that her little they just weren't flowing, and she loves us anyways.
Yeah. Prepper Ilea. And by the way, it was $3.5 billion, which Dex just looked up. $3.5 billion for that plan to save the world, which is most likely going to come from our taxes, I'm assuming.
Oh, wow. Oh, and which brings me to another quick point, and then I'll let you guys go. Our lovely Governor Gavin Newsom has officially stopped all fracking in California.
Okay, that's kind of... No, I think that's great, but does that not ring any kind of flags for anybody? Like, that's...
Oh.
Does he know something?
Oh,
Do they all know something? They're not trying to shake the giant or wake the giant?
No, Oh yeah, we're not shaking him at all, are we?
So wait. So when did this happen? This is the kind of local news you got to tell me. This is great.
Yeah, this happened just within the last week, I believe.
Okay, are people starting to make the connections here? They stopped all fracking. I wonder why. Maybe because it causes earthquakes and they're waiting on the big one.
Yeah, and you know how we follow the hot spots in the volcanoes?
Yep.
Not so bad today, but really bad yesterday and really bad the day before. We had hot spots. I mean, just the whole Central Valley of California was just completely covered. I mean, even here by where I'm at, I had hot spots popping up all around me. Well, then all of a sudden today, the hot spots have dropped off, and so have the volcanoes. Oh my gosh, the earthquakes. We're still having the earthquakes, but not as bad. So the hot spots and the earthquakes have dropped off a little bit. So there's our little quiet before the storm, and we just had a big 06 go off in Alaska, and a 6 in Indonesia. So we got pushes of 5s and 6s coming, guys.
Well, I hope not. I hope everything goes smoothly and we never have another earthquake around the world ever again, and no one ever dies from one. That's possible, right?
Yeah, exactly. Hey, you know what?
That's how people think.
I lived through a big old earthquake in the 80s when I was a little girl, and I literally watched the corner of my house split open from underneath my dining room table.
That is insanity.
I lived through that, you know, so, and that was some pretty good shaking. So, and it tore up our roads. We didn't have power for a minute, but it's survivable. It really is. You just have to be prepared and have a plan. And just don't be afraid. Do not panic.
That is a perfect note to end on. 11 Pagan space 11. Thank you for calling in. Only one more subscriber and she's at 500. I'm sure you will get there. And boom, 501. Congratulations on your 500. Hopefully by the time that all of the replayers go through, we can, love mob 11 Pagan space 11. Again, you got to get that space, otherwise they mess you up. She actually has tons of videos. If you go to the home, it looks like you don't do anything. Again, just go into a desktop and adjust your home. Just say, edit it, because right now it looks like you have nothing on your home. You have to actually click. I got to pull my head out of this Cascadia stuff for a few seconds to get on the laptop. Hey, that's great. That's great. I'm just saying, if you do that, if you get that information out there, we don't want people to skip your stuff because they don't see your home screen. So if you fix that, it will only take a couple minutes, and it will help you get a lot more people to stick around your channel. If you need help too, you can email us. Well, I'm at 500. Okay, 507. As a matter of fact, I have questions. I'll do that. Okay, all right. Hit me up on Discord too. We're here to help you. All right, much love, guys. Get in the creators corner as well, okay? All right. Yep, I'm there already. All right, perfect. Bye-bye. All right, and then Hella Cat, I love it. That's 90s. Whiskey Warrior 556, question mark, FF or real deal? So you're asking Whiskey Warrior 556. Let's see. Whiskey Warrior 6. ATF standoff. I'm not sure the full series. This is 3 hours ago. I don't know what this is. Standoff with vet in Putnam County. I will have to check this out. This isn't the kind of thing I would put on there right away. Wow, everybody's talking about it, actually. What? Will you look up Whiskey Warrior 556 Dex, and then I'm gonna go over to this new one. Good chat. Helicat. I don't know. I'm gonna check that out. We're gonna look into it. Albert Salcido, thank you for calling in, or I'm sorry, not calling in, subscribing. Thank you. Welcome to the fam. Kelly 22334. Peace and grace to you and mods. Thanks for all your hard work. Mods, that was for you, Kelly2334. I'm sure some of them are going to say you are very welcome. Lady Diane, keep up the great work. Much appreciated, times 100. Thank you. I appreciate that, Lady Diane. Terry Gomez, thank you for going over to Patreon during the show and pledging. That's super awesome. Again, I see that, so thank you. I know you guys don't mean that. David Thorson, 4 out of 4 of the YouTube super chats, all to you. Keep up the good work. Another Washington here. Washingtonian, thank you. I appreciate that. Make sure when we do our meetings, get over here. Meet me in person. Rizzy Truth, thank you for subscribing. As always, if you subscribe during the show, you will get a shout out. And then Bones with a Z. If you haven't checked out his channel, make sure to do so. He says, remember, when Marf reaches 100,000 on Marfoogle TV, he has accepted the Tiara Bubble Bath recreation. And of course, he is saying that, yes, I accepted the challenge that if I hit 1,000 on this channel, I will take a picture and recreate the Vlad Gruitz photo of the bubble bath photo of me in a bath with a tiara. Sadly, I accepted that challenge. So that is motivation for you to share the channel out, I guess. And yeah. Jay Crystal sending donates to help this channel. Thank you again. I appreciate that. And Donnie Newcomer says, you know, dummy, you my homie. I love it. And I loved that earthquake video by Doug, man. That was great. Donnie, thank you for calling in too. Helicat, all you guys, thank you. Dex, do you have an update on that?
Adam, I missed the part you were talking about. Was this about the standoff in Alabama?
I believe so. Whiskey Warrior 556.
Okay, well, the information I have, and I don't have it from Whiskey, I apologize, but the Alabama sheriff was shot. They were killed at a convenience store. The suspect surrenders after a 4-hour manhunt. That's the latest.
Okay, all right. Well, we will look into it.
And I will. Yeah, I'll look the rest of it up.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you for covering that. Stand up with Vet in Putnam County.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like it's done by now.
Yes.
Maybe he's well known or something. I don't know. Or maybe he did this live. Huh. I don't know. I don't risk playing something like that when everybody's getting knocked out left and right. But if
Right.
it's of any importance, we will be showing it tomorrow night. Let's see. Dex, man, you've just all of this just nuts. The earthquake video, that's amazing. I want that to be a I want to make that a highlight.
All of the caller content is available on the website already.
So this is the coolest part. This is how gangster we are and how gangster Dex is. Look at this. So you go to marfooglenews.com. This is a live show. Right now it is 11:34 p.m. Pacific, of course. It is now. You click on this show with this thumbnail. Once you go there, down below, not only are the articles that we have here, which we backed ourselves up. You can't say we didn't back ourselves up with where we got it. All of the tweets, the weird news, and oh man, I'm so glad you got this. So Jack Granquist is a local gentleman who, it says, I noticed some weird sparking and burning while heating up a hot dog in the microwave that I had pre-cut into small pieces before heating. It was a Hebrew National, 97% fat-free Frank. Now, I want to show you this. This is proof. Just to show you real quick, this is crazy. It starts sparking. So I might turn this into a mini video. This is nuts. You actually can see sparks. And this is no joke. There's no metal. He ends up taking it out. I'm so glad you put this here, Dex. Oh, goodness gracious. Again, down below is that video. Go check it out. Give it a view. This is in normal hot dogs. So I was going to almost warn. Look at that. Is that pieces of metal inside the hot dogs? Have you guys ever had that happen? I guess he said that on the Facebook post some people said that yeah, they have seen that before. I have ate a million Hebrew Nationals. I've cooked them up in the microwave and on the stove. I've never seen that. So did he have metal in his hot dogs? Is that normal? Again, that was Hebrew National, 97% fat-free Franks. And then all of the caller content, bam, is right there. Sheila, Wormwood, Reed, Area 55, Doug, right there. Donnie, boom. 11 Pagan 11, boom, bam. Bingo, dingo, ding, ding. You see that? That is how we do it here on Marfoogle News. Make sure to check out this post. Really freaking weird. I actually, yeah, just really weird. Okay. Let's move on. Dex, thank you so much for your service. You are
absolutely
an absolute beast and a maniac.
God bless everybody. Appreciate it, Adam. Thank you for all you do.
Of course. Well, I hope that you are so gangster that something. Now, of course, it is time for me to make a complete fool out of myself. It is not an outro. It's not a shout-out. It's the shoutro. And remember what time it is. It's Marfoogle time. And what Marfoogle time means is that it's time to go to marfooglenews.com. Angel in Dallas, thanks for the rock. Amazing Baby, Susan Donahue. 3KZ Mexicans, thank you for being me and for Siamese for me. I appreciate it. Got your chain, got your garden on 1, 2, 3, 4, Gavin Cousins. Joe Hodgin, Cozy 5, 3, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 12. 2, 2, 12. Charlie, I'm a Charlie Brandon. Oh. Hello, Lindy Kaz. Kelly Josie with the K Gadberry. Going somewhere scary. Glenda Snyder, Bobolo, bobbling, bingy bing, ha ha, hee hee, ha ha. Christina Lehal says, spank you, Adam. Spank you very much. Get Ray, gonna say what they wanna say. Bad Billy Buck, don't give up. John Walker goes and walks it off. Occam's razor, thank you much. Got that Taffy, that's the rape up. I'm gonna get them JT Waters urban. Knowing that when we be earning. Working 8 hours, learning, churning out the news with Monica Campbell. Well, what the hell? Hey, job, and
seen, no one has ever heard. Hey, now you know we've got to roll. Hey, now you know. Whoa, there we go. 1, 2, 3, and the mosquitoes and the butterflies were shallow. Gotta eat it back down. Hi, seriously, in Christ, just ridiculous. Whoa, whoa. Jules Mark Davis wanna rock this. Alan Dally don't wanna walk this. Hey, hey, hey. So resucking. Two blondes walk into a bar. Jordana says hello, ma. Alfred Phillips wants to see. The clock don't know. Hey, hey. Must rock with the Tony Block on the go now. Gone baby with an amazing baby. Kim Walter and the Gale Firestorm. Love your show, always on the curve. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It'll change in a minute, oh, I'm in it. Jennifer Kastler gonna wanna bring it. Oh, 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 oh. And a crazy ballet princess gonna bring it now. I see Hellraiser gonna bring it now. Got a Dwayne Muccino and that Stephen Granger positive channel. Oh, got the red in the valley. Gonna bring it back now, my pal Allie. Going back now, no, yes. Gonna be okay, gonna be okay. Gonna love it all the way back down, yeah. Gonna get a Riley Cunningham back now. Got a Lisa, oh, gonna go wild. Gonna bring it Lexi with Dex, oh, blow. Oh, Mr. Kenny, 143, Kappa Child. Hey, Callie, too cool, gonna look at me now. Road dog, it's me, gonna see it's we that you smoke T-Lock, 88, Megan, and the rest of the Robert Jones. Gonna go back now, you gotta be the dawn. If you're gonna order them around Blue Alien, 47, gotta bring you bacon on 11. Oh, Susie Q and J. Jay Simmies with the B and the baby, Helen Talley. It's so delayed.
Hey, YouTube, are you turning me down? 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 I'm a believer. I'm about to go Robert Johns on my Bernie Malone, Callie Too Cool, Paul John, and Cindy Hockett. Hey, Mama Henry. Hey, Kenny Crowder and Richard Borba. Gonna bring it back and now I absorb by all of Tony Higginson and the rest of the lore. Is this adult or kids content? I have no idea. To my Foogle Fam. Oh, damn. Awakened by the looking glass reflection. Gonna get it on like I get it on. Alan Tully and the Gate 0582. Gonna hang out with you. One hip chick and we do it all day. Spud Ruckus going to go what way? They trying to hold it back cause it's all leaf that. And the Dax right, I'ma hang it back. Robert O'Reilly's in the no.
T-Lock 88 and how to marry a Polish girl and a Leslie, Marie, and Ashley. Don't know how to say it and I flubbed it up. Kilroy was here and I flubbed it up. Conquest Hearts and I flubbed it up. Country Girl here and I flubbed it up.
Reading the gospel, I'm on a Reeveso, Karina Betancourt, Low Jack D and the rest of the board. Florida crew, Alfred Phillips, Linda Way and the rest of my Phillips. So hesitantly Marie, doing our floss with Marf. Got my GED and then you're the morph. Rich Potter now and I'm good at math. Gonna bring it right back and know how to act. Cynthia S and Cynthia Go. Oh, Ashley Marie, thank you. And Kelly Bog for going over to Patreon and doing it during the show. Thank you. And David Pope.
Love job that you do. Check out J-Dub TV is on here. New corner and Pale Firestorm. Love your show. Always on learning curve. Yeah.
Jabba's Justice. Jabber's Justice. If you pay for the premium YouTube, I guess they give them away. But don't worry about it. It is not necessary. This is a free channel, and it will always be. Oh, yes, I forgot to remember something. I can't remember what I forgot. I think it was something. Oh, that's right. It was the only time I walked up and I said hello. And he said, "What's up?" And I said, "Nothing." I just knew it was about that time, and he was so chill. I just walk on down, bringing it back on now. Cali 2334, loving it back now, you know. Hey, Gabe Firestorm. Hey, Amy Holy and Mr. Phoebo Lee. Thank you, Mystic Walks and Judy Moore and the rest of Mrs. Silverhawk. And no, I will never leave you. No, I will never leave you. Conquest as if it's about boom boom time. Well, we can't use that song no more, cause the Dookie Wilkos is up in here. The Dookie Wilkos is up in here. Danger Jr. and Helmet Rumple, they all hung out and now they're doing all the tempos. And Shastina, Jake, Matt Red, Jim P, and the rest hearing it. B.O.D. We B.O.D. Juanita Sherman and Mike W. hanging out with Carrie Ray, Mrs. Fritz, and Veronica Powers. Gonna bring you back in now for hours. Hanging out with CJ Blaze and hours. We're gonna hang out, gonna be around forever. Mario Lopez from Las Vegas, gonna hang out and call. Saved by the Bell, Walks with Crow, Magma, 88. Why does so many people have 88 after their name? Lydia Twinner, get up and I want to eat me some late dinner. Whoa, 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 whoa. Jennifer Kassler, I appreciate you. And I would never be able to do this show without you. Thank you, Don N. Doug N says Marf's a goober with a big fat booger. It's all about the booger. It's all about the booger. The booger. The booger. Now that you're hanging out, make sure to show the person next to you some love. This is the weirdest news show I've ever watched, says everybody and anybody. You know what I just thought about and I totally forgot to do? Me for me.
And now, you know, yes, you're done here. If you never been here to the show and you're new to the show, this is 105.4 Funky Marf now. We've got the moving now, gonna bring it back in now. One day the summer says, you're a freaking hood now. Gonna be down and they'll bring you that feel, baby. Gonna eat it back like, oh, I'm Bella Kelly. Oh, gotta bring it back. Rogue dog, eat me, kill firestorm, and a Kelly 2, 3, 3, 4. And I'm gonna eat it like the game. Oh, 5, gonna bring you cricket, Lulu, and ding-a-ling-a-ding-ding. Oh, yeah, now. Oh, you're gonna bring it back now. We move this neck down, do all them chores. Oh, now, sweet runs on the ribs now. Gotta eat it back, Christine. Unlike that Shastina, bring it back now with a grin on your face and a Kenny crowd hanging out now. And we can't get any louder. Gotta eat me some chowder like Kenny Crowder.
Really? Eating chowder like Kenny Crowder?
Yeah, man, you okay, man. Trinity, red pill or blue pill, hi ho, Kermit the Frog, yeah, man. Yeah! They keep holding messages for review with no reason to. I just don't get it now. Why is the truth trying to hold back my people? Turn the weaker, I'm gonna drive it legal. I'm a body murder face up like it made a Hogan Garden. Now they just for the last of the month. Kamikaze Holocaust hot dogs made out of metal from the Hero National. Hey, Elmer Shell Smith, are you so cool? Hey, I'm a believer. Conquest, thank ya. Love ya, Marf, and God bless your brother. I'm Jamin Woo. I'm Jamin Woo. We're gonna bring the boom boom back tomorrow night just for you on a special Sunday night show, yeah. Marf is in the house now. Oh, the light turning up slowly now. Less and less lights, man. Yeah, now, you know what I'm talking about. It's the real song now, just me for me.
Yeah. Sam, I'm feeling free, the dolphin in the sea.
Because you better love you for you, cause I love me for me.
Play my favorite song, yeah. Thankful for the charm, life rocking in my phone. I am looking for attention, I don't need the extra tension. Cause I'm in the fourth dimension, trapeze high in suspension. Now don't bother with the haters, cause they all be imitators. Real life manipulators, get it back up and see you later. I like me for me, I'ma be what I'ma be. I like me for me, I am who I wanna be. Don't need no apologies, just peace and serenity. No to the jealousy, Wonder Woman identity. I like me.
A big ups for the mods tonight. Thank you, mods. It's your day.
Head over heels, you know how that shit feels. You think it's out of space, but I know that it is real. Sipping Topo Chico, La Coca Puerto Rico. Lick it dance waterfall, anywhere that we go. I am looking for attention.
Whoa, Sarah Isaacson just subscribed. That is absolutely insane. Sarah Iackson, I've been waiting for you to subscribe for, well, years. Since the old man came to me on the dock with the mysterious crystal.
I'ma be what I'ma be.
That might have been an 80s movie I watched. I'm not sure. I sometimes confuse my life with 80s movies.
I wanna be. Don't need no apologies. Just peace and serenity. No thought to the jealousy. Wonder Woman identity. I like me for me. I like me for me. Na 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 na.
Infidel. Now you do.
Na 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 na. Gotta prove it to myself and nobody else. Gotta prove it to myself and nobody else. Gotta prove it to myself and nobody else. Gotta prove it to myself and nobody else.
Torso Talk. Torso Talk. Torso Talk.
You want to know what's going on? What's really going on when it happens? Go to MarFoogleNews.com and get Marfoogle alerts along with a Discord invitation where you can find your local state group and get together with the Foogle Fam. You'll find fast friends where you'll share prep and intel, and there's even special groups for former and current military. But don't try and steal the valor of those who have really served. It won't go well for you. The Marfoogle Fam is waiting for you.